I promise none of your Thanksgivings will be as bad as any of the 4 Thanksgiving cases I'm about ready to tell you about. Hi, my name is Wes Austin. I'm a patent lawyer and comedian. Normally on my channel we talk about legal news, funny patents and trademarks, and stand-up comedy. Today I'm going to be making you feel a lot better about your Thanksgiving holiday coming up, all right? I mean, we know that somebody first thing is going to bring up the election, or maybe they're going to bring up face masks, and then there's going to be a lot of tense, moments throughout Thanksgiving. But I still think that's going to be better than any of these 4 Thanksgivings I'm about ready to tell you about. The first case is Georgia versus Bartles and Marsh, 2010. So some parents thought it would be great if they gave their kids tattoos on Thanksgiving. Their kids ranged in age from 10 to 17. And they didn't have a tattoo gun, so they made one. They made one out of guitar string so that they could give their kids these tattoos. I think they gave 6 of the 7 kids tattoos. I think we actually have a photo of the homemade tattoo gun. That looks pretty safe and nice, doesn't it? I would love to start using that. Now, the parents said that, hey, we were only doing what the kids wanted us to do. And they said that the kids wanted to have their own little cross or X tattoos on their hands. Again, here's a photo that I got from a the news story about this. You can see the little tattoo on their hands. But their biological mother found out, and she turned them in, and so the parents were hauled off, and they were charged with cruelty to children, reckless conduct, and tattooing without a license. That last one doesn't seem to go with the first 2, right? Anyway, so I don't know. The moral of the story is plan ahead. Think about what kind of Thanksgiving activities you want to take part in, and get ahead of the game. Think about it. I have. And I found this tattoo gun on Amazon. It's going to be here tomorrow on Amazon Prime. So we're set for Thanksgiving. All right, the next case comes out of Arizona. This is around the 2010 era. Sheriff Joe Arpaio down there loved Christmas music. So he would start playing Christmas music 12 hours a day in these prisons starting on Thanksgiving. Playing songs like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Ramadan, Feliz Navidad, stuff like that. The inmates did not like it. In fact, they filed a lawsuit trying to stop this. They alleged that it was violating their religious and civil rights, and they also alleged that it was cruel and unusual punishment. Okay? The sheriff just kept playing it. And you know what? This wasn't 1 lawsuit or 2 lawsuits. He got sued 6 times to try to stop him from playing this holiday music. And you know what? He won, though. And the judge said, no, that's fine. You can do it. It's not cruel and unusual punishment. And the prisoners had asked for $250,000 in damages. Denied, of course. And so the sheriff kept playing the music. Now, you think that wouldn't be... Okay, it's going to be annoying, but I don't know that it's going to be super bad. But then I found out the sheriff actually liked Alvin and the Chipmunks. Okay, now I get it. Yeah. I mean, these inmates could have been filing lawsuits challenging their convictions or challenging their sentences. And they're like, no, we need to stop this Christmas music right the frick now. So anyway, but they couldn't stop it. And so he kept playing it. So, I guess just be glad that did I say glad? So I guess just be glad that you're not in prison listening to 12 hours a day of Christmas music starting on Thanksgiving with a lot of Alvin and the Chipmunks worked into that, because that could be pretty rough. So this next case happened around 2009. So this lady, her mom died, and her mom was cremated, and she thought it would be nice if she and all of her daughters could have, little lockets with some of the ashes from her mother in the lockets. Okay, so they got all these lockets made, and they had the ashes from her mom in these lockets. So they're eating Thanksgiving dinner, and they notice that there are like dark specks in the mashed potatoes. And I guess they finish eating, and then they realize that their lockets had been leaking. So the ashes from their grandma had been in the mashed potatoes, and I guess probably some of the other food too, and so they ate the ashes of their grandma, which was pretty rough. I would just say if you're going to eat part of grandma for Thanksgiving dinner, I would say put her in the pepper because you're not going to really notice. But the mashed potatoes, you're going to see that, I think. All right, the last case, Florida v. Smith, 2009. This is the one I couldn't find a news story about to really substantiate it. I just found a blog post. So let's just hope that it's true because it's a pretty good story. So Elizabeth, young lady, she got up early, 7 a.m. Thanksgiving morning to help stuff the turkey. When she got out there, her father-in-law was already doing it. And the problem was he was using celery. Elizabeth's husband, which is this guy's son, is allergic to celery. So they started, having a little bit of a yelling match. Then Elizabeth's husband came out. He saw what was going on. So he started getting in an argument with his father about this. They started fighting, they started wrestling, and they kind of rolled into one of the other rooms wrestling. Then the mother-in-law came out. She saw what was going on. She got really ticked off, and she started pulling the hair of Elizabeth, and I think she hit her in the face because Elizabeth was bleeding on her face somewhere. All right, this is a terrible fight happening all over the stuffing. Somebody called the police. The police came, they hauled off the father-in-law and the mother-in-law, took them to jail. The father and mother-in-law ended up having Thanksgiving dinner in jail, and Elizabeth was able to finish Thanksgiving dinner at the home, and they all enjoyed a nice Thanksgiving. So, see, look at that. None of your Thanksgivings are going to be as bad as any of these, all right? Hey, happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you next week.